trading at 56, the spot price. That's a new all-time high. And we're actually up, Elijah, $2.60, which is half of, I guess, 5. But yeah, $100, I don't think is out of the question. Back in 1979, I think silver was at $16 in November, and by even end of November, and by January 1980, it got up to 50, so it like tripled. So we could very easily double, and if we double, we're at 100. That's
Mario Innecco explains that silver's surge above $56 is being driven by real physical demand, not paper speculation. Unlike the 2021 silver squeeze, today's buyers include sovereign wealth funds, central banks, and major institutions who are accumulating physical metal, not ETFs or futures. He highlights that silver is now catching up to gold, with the gold-silver ratio breaking down, a pattern seen in past major bull market phases. Innecco points to a historic shift. Middle Eastern, Asian, and BRICS-aligned countries are openly adding silver to reserves. Dubai is launching tokenized silver. India is allowing silver-backed loans, and countries like Turkey, Russia, China, and South Korea are buying physical silver directly. This marks the reversal of the long-held belief that central banks only accumulate gold. He argues silver has entered uncharted territory, driven by tightening global supply, growing monetary use cases, and rising geopolitical interest. With spot prices near $56, he sees potential for rapid moves, including $5 daily gains and even a run toward $100, similar to silver's explosive tripling in late 1979. Overall, Innecco believes the world, especially the West, has not yet grasped how significant this shift toward physical silver is, and that the metal may be on the verge of a major structural revaluation.
I think basically physical demand for silver is overwhelming the paper market. And 3.5 years ago, or a little more, we had the silver squeeze movement, and that didn't really go anywhere. We got to 30, and then there was a lid there, mainly because the big sovereign buyers of physical silver that we're seeing now, and also big investors, they weren't interested in silver. They might have been buying ETFs, but they weren't interested in physical. But now everything's changed. And I think that's why silver is picking up. And also silver has still to catch up with gold, because don't forget, gold in 1980 got to just below 900. And now we are here at, I think, 4,200 as we speak. And silver got to like around 50 in 1980, and it's just moving above 50 now. So I think, since mid-October, there's been a correction, and a lot of people weren't too sure if silver was going to make it back up. But I think this is very significant that we made it back up, and we've made a new high. Yeah, gold is lagging, but I'm not concerned about that. I think if you look at the gold-silver ratio, it's breaking down, which is a good thing. Back in the 70s and also in 2011, towards the end of the bull market, silver really caught up and went higher. And I'm not saying the bull market is near an end. Precious metals, I think, is far from over. But usually it's good to see silver leading the way. For me, the most important aspect is that actually central banks, like in the Middle East, like the Gulf Cooperation central banks, even Turkey, Russia, China, they're all starting to buy physical silver. And I've even heard that Dubai now, they want to they're creating a tokenized silver instrument. Basically, they want to make silver kind of money again, which is quite amazing. I don't know if you saw the other day, Dubai, they showed this silver bar, it was 1,971 kilos. So almost 2 tons. They're really into silver. We saw that India is going to allow individuals and companies to use silver as collateral for money, for loans, excuse me. So yeah, up until 6 months ago, the reason people gave for silver underperforming gold was that, well, central banks only buy gold, they never buy silver. But that's completely changing, and I think that's huge. And I think the silver price, right now, we are like in what one would call terra incognita. Like we're in territory we don't know. It's never been there before. But yeah, I think there's such huge potential for silver now that central banks are getting involved. And unfortunately, in the West, very few people are aware of this stuff. I mean, you and I are aware because we listen to you listen to me, I listen to other people in the gold and silver space, but the mainstream is like completely like not really aware of it yet. Maybe the fact that like Tucker Carlson has started his own precious metals dealer might help wake people up a little bit. He's got a big following. So yeah, that's the major thing. These countries outside the West, yeah, they're going back to silver. Even Korea, South Korea, the central bank there has started buying gold again, but also silver. And we also seen, Elijah, that the United States and China, they've put silver on their critical minerals list. So everyone wants to get silver before those two giants get a lot more. Back in from 05 to 08, even though I was a futures and options broker for government bonds, we had a client that traded a lot of silver. And so I was involved in that. And I could remember $5 days when silver was between $15 and $20. So I don't see why we shouldn't see $5 days again, especially now that we are above 50. And I mean, as we speak here, we're just trading at 56, the spot price. That's a new all-time high. And we're actually up, Elijah, $2.60, which is half of, I guess, 5. But yeah, $100, I don't think is out of the question. Back in 1979, I think silver was at $16 in November, and by even end of November, and by January 1980, it got up to 50. So it like tripled. So we could very easily double. And if we double, we're at 100. That's
Mario Innecco emphasizes the importance of staying calm amid silver's explosive price action, noting that both sharp rallies and corrections can mislead investors into emotional decisions. He advises newcomers not to rush in or allocate all their capital at once. Instead, he recommends a dollar-cost averaging approach to naturally benefit from periodic pullbacks. With volatility rising and premiums likely to widen due to dealer risk management, he stresses focusing on securing reasonably priced physical silver rather than chasing specific products. Innecco highlights unusual conditions in the market, such as U.S. junk silver trading near spot, indicating tightening physical supply. He personally prefers practical forms of silver, UK Britannias and pre-1920 sterling in Britain, and silver eagles or pre-1965 U.S. coinage for American buyers. Larger investors may consider substantial bars, but for most people, straightforward coins and small bars are sufficient. A major theme he underscores is the shifting global monetary landscape. Central banks, especially outside the West, appear to be rediscovering silver's utility, not just as a reserve asset, but as a liquid medium of exchange. He points to developments like Dubai's emerging silverback token and the revival of silver-based financial tools that echo the historical bimetallic systems used before 1873. Innecco believes this trend is historically significant and could surprise mainstream observers who have long dismissed silver as obsolete money. He concludes by reminding viewers that silver has been intertwined with the very meaning of money for centuries, reflected in languages and the origins of the word dollar, and that the world has only been separated from silver as currency for a few decades. In his view, the global shift back toward tangible monetary assets suggests that silver's monetary relevance may be returning far sooner than most people realize.
I think people should remain calm. I try to stay even keel. Even on the way up, back in the beginning of October, the market went crazy on the way up, especially gold. I try to stay calm and not too excited. And the same thing when it corrected. Same thing now. But for people who want to get involved in silver, I would say don't go in all at once. I don't, if you have a certain amount of dollars, don't go and buy all of it in silver. Maybe dollar cost average, and don't worry about the price, because if you do it regularly, you're going to get a period when the price is corrected down. So yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. But it's getting, I think we could see next week silver be very explosive to the upside. We could see a lot of volatility as well. And I expect the premiums to go higher for silver, because the dealers, when it's very volatile, they need to have a wider bid and offer spread to protect their profitability. So that's the only thing I would say right now. I heard that from Andy Scheckman last week. I interviewed him. He said the constitutional or junk silver is, yeah, it's almost trading at spot, which is unusual. I'm not really picky. I just try to get the best deal in silver. And I think as long as you have silver, that's fine. I think everything will do well. Here in the UK, I like buying the coins of the realm, like the 1 ounce silver Britannias, and I have some like pre-1920 sterling silver coins as well. Those are they're like the junk silver for the UK. And in the US, I would stick to silver eagles and pre-65 coinage. And I guess if you have millions, of course, you might want to think about bars, silver bars, like 5,000 ounce bars and stuff like that. But for the small investors, yeah, stick to the coins and maybe some 100-gram bars and stuff like that. I mean, it's very surprising for me, and but I think maybe these central banks are waking up to the fact that yes, it's good to have gold as more of a reserve asset, but silver will provide more liquidity as well in terms of a day-to-day asset or money or currency to use for the general public. And I see that. I think it's Ronan Manley and Bullion Star. I'm not sure if it's together with Bullion Star. They're helping develop this token in Dubai, silver-backed token. So I'm not sure exactly yet what that's going to be like. But yeah, you could go to Dubai and use silver as currency. So I think, yeah, and that helps liquidity because you're not just focused on gold. You have like a bimetallic standard. That's how it used to be in the US prior to 1873. So I think this is truly historic, and it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise, because we've been told that silver will never be money again or be used again, that you need to be into Bitcoin and cryptos. But maybe going back is what it's all about, going back to real money. I mean, Elijah, the name dollar comes from a silver coin called the Spanish dollar, and that comes from the Joachim's thaler, coin. In Spanish, plata, which is silver, also means money. In French, argent means silver, means money. So, and we've only been, let's say, separated from silver as money for about 50, 60 years. I mean, in the 60s, a lot of countries still use silver as money and coinage.
Silver is entering a historic moment, and the world is only just waking up to it. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This story is moving fast, and you won't want to miss what happens next. Thanks for watching, and stay sharp.